Good evening, guys. It is your girl Mo. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. If you are new to my channel, thank you. Please be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so you know when I upload new messages. Please like or dislike. Ooh, excuse me. And also, please be sure to comment below. Okay, so tonight, in honor of my daughter, whose birthday was earlier this week, I wanted to ask you guys, how do you train up your child? Like, what things do you instill in them? And if there are things that maybe your parents instilled in you or others instilled in you that you still apply to your life today. So the verse today is from Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he gets old, he will not depart from it. So what I think this means, and do not judge me for butchering this, is basically we want to train our kids on what character is all about. Like, character, not what people, think of us, but, who we are when others aren't around. Like, um, things such as, being a hard worker, being a honest person, caring for others, respecting yourselves, like things in his word, like his word. We're trying to instill his word into our kids. And as they get older, we hope that, they will reflect back on his words, the training, the teaching that we are trying to show them and apply it to their lives. But also just being understanding that, our kids, they're growing as they go through life. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to rebel. Like, I know I've rebelled as a child. I know there are things that, my mother, she tried to instill in me. And at the time, maybe I didn't, understand. But as I get older, like, I understand. And some of those things I apply to my life, or, try to train my kids, my daughter, my sister on. So this devotional, they talked about 4 things that God does that we should do as parents. It said that God loves, corrects, provides, and forgives us. And that's what we need to do to our kids. Like, we need to love them despite their actions. Like, our love for our kids should be unconditional. It shouldn't be contingent upon, their actions. Like, oh, I only love you when you do good things. If you do something bad, I don't love you. Like, no, love should be unconditional. We need to correct them, like spoil the child. How does it go? Spare the rod, spoil the child. Like, no, like, discipline is important. Like, kids need to know that, you reap what you sow. But also they should be given grace. Like, God gives us grace. I know in my life there have been things that I have done, like, oh, Jesus, thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. And it's important to extend that grace to them, not where it's spoiling them, but, show them, like, we also can give you grace as God gives us grace. We need to provide for them, like provide them a safe home, a home where they feel like they are safe and they are protected, and forgive them. Forgive them for, as God forgives us, as God forgives them, we should also forgive them. And I'm reminded of the gospel when Peter asked Jesus, like, okay, well, how many times should I forgive someone? 7 times? No, 70 times 7. Like, that's how forgiving we should be. I am kind of like reminded of a time when I was younger. My sister and our grandmother, she would watch us and she would cook us dinner. Like, I don't know about you guys, but my grandmother, she would just go all out and just pile all this food on our plate. And then she would tell us, make sure you eat everything on your plate, because there are starving kids in Africa. Like, you just, want to be grateful and thankful that you have food to eat, and eat everything on your plate. So my sister and I, we would just eat everything on our plate, thinking about those kids in Africa. And I find myself now, doing this to my daughter and my sister. Like, when they're, complaining about food or complaining about something, I tell them like, hey, like there's a child out there that hasn't had a meal today. So, be grateful for this meal that you have. There's a child out here that doesn't have a home or toys to play with. So be, grateful for those things that you have. And it's funny because today my daughter, she was complaining about her dinner. She was complaining that she only had one shrimp in her pasta. And she said, Mommy, I don't want one shrimp. I want 4 shrimp in my pasta. And I told her, I said, baby, I'm sorry. There was only, one shrimp left. This is all we have. You need to be grateful for what you have. There is a child out here that didn't eat today, and you got 3 meals today and snacks. So, she sat back down and she ate her dinner, and then she said, Mommy, I'm full. I ate enough. Can we, wrap up my food? And I say, yeah. So she brings her plate to me, and there are 2 noodles on this plate, and I'm like, no, I'm not wasting my foil on 2 noodles. So I go to, rake her plate in the trash, and she's like, no, Mommy, that's not what we do. Like, you need to wrap up your food. Like, we don't throw food away. So, I'm like, wow, like these are the things that I'm trying to instill in her. And I see, she is understanding it. She is applying it. And here I am not obliging by, what I'm trying to instill in her. So I wrapped up her 2 noodles. Yes, I wrapped up her 2 noodles. So I just thought that was funny that, I found myself, reflecting on those things that my grandmother, said to me. And, I'm saying these things to them. So just, going back to training up a child, like I said before, like I think we really need to understand that our kids, they're growing up, and as they go through life, they're going to rebel as we rebel. Let's, just try to, keep that in mind as they grow up. Let's pick them up when they fall. Sometimes it may be times where we may not jump in if it's not gonna hurt them, kill them. Like it may be times where you just, be that listening ear to them. And also as parents, I think we need to just not be hard on ourselves when our kids, backslide, or they, do things that we haven't trained them to do. Like it's not our fault. Like we are imperfect parents. At the end of the day, they have a mind of their own, and we just hope that those things that we're trying to instill in them, that they will apply to their lives. So I hope you got something out of my message. Please tell me how you train up your kids, or what things have people instilled in you that you still apply to your life today or your kids. Have a good evening. Bye.